Hello, for this video we are at the quilt shop. Usually the videos take place at the home studio, but for this one we are at Creative Fabrics and Quilt Shop in Evansburg, PA. Cindy just finished a memory quilt last night, freehand motion, and which she is the best at, and wanted to talk to her and have her show it to you and all the fabrics and how well the Innova did on these fabrics.
Hi, I'm Cindy with Creative Fabrics and Quilt Shop, and welcome to the shop. Scott wanted me to show you one that I just finished, and I've really enjoyed doing memory quilts. It's amazing how many different types of fabrics people bring in for the memory quilts, and the Innova has really impressed me with how many wonderful stitches, how clean it does. I've done many memory quilts, t-shirt quilts on all types of fabrics. Everything from bathing suits to towels to, of course, blue jeans and khakis and denim. But I was really impressed with the Innova because it transferred easily from fabric to fabric. So when I was starting with maybe a cotton and then going to a denim to another lightweight fabric and then back to a heavy, the stitches were constant and even and very fluid. The machine ran great, it didn't have any problems, and no thread breaks. My other machine, which was a very great machine, I would get as many as 5 and 6 thread breaks per pass. And as you all know, that takes a lot of time to stop, restart, and pick your threads up and clean up. So can you imagine doing an entire memory quilt with no thread breaks whatsoever? Alright, I'm going to go through the fabrics now on this memory quilt and show you how well fabric to fabric that we sewed them together and how the machine ran smoothly across the different styles that are here. So the first one I'm going to show you is the border. This is the piano key, and of course this is your 100% cotton. The second one, we chose a heavy twill that we needed to actually support all these heavy types of fabrics, because again, these are all garments that we sewed. The purple one here was actually part of a raincoat, so it's a very like an acetate. This one is an acrylic sweater, and it goes right into another acrylic sweater. This one is a wonderful woven skirt that she had, and that goes right into a worsted wool coat. So this was a nice winter coat. So you can imagine how thick and nice that this piece is. And you can see how beautiful these stitches are. They really show up nice, and the red right up to the black here. This was part of a scarf that she had, a beautiful woven scarf, and that goes right into this beautiful sweater. Now this is a polyester sweater that's also a knit, so there's a lot of stretching here, and of course these wonderful beads. Now what I was really impressed with was the spoon foot, because the spoon foot just went smoothly over these heavy seams, because you can imagine how much fabric is right in here with these sweaters, and then it went just perfect over top of these beads. It didn't catch on anything. Now I will admit I did avoid the beads as best as I could, but I traveled through and around them, and it just carefully pushed them to the side. And that brings me right to this tricky piece here. This is chiffon. This is one of her favorite dresses that she had, so the customer really wanted me to include this piece. I admit I was a little nervous because the chiffon and these little tiny beads, but again, the machine did lovely. There's hardly any puckering on this, and again, easily went around all these beads and didn't catch on anything. That brings me right into this pair of wool pants, and then right into a very heavily decorated sweater again with this embroidery. I did go across the embroidery because I was worried about a lot of excess puckering. And then of course right into this, oh my gosh, we have a heavy duty cable knit sweater here. So you can imagine how thick this piece was. Then I go right back into my border here, and look, it's just perfect how it went from that stitch right into another one, and then here, no skip stitches, nothing. I just couldn't be happier with how this turned out. Thanks, Innova. You built a great machine.